Next we will see sulphuric acid, which is the main important oxo acids of sulfur, sulphuric acid. So, in the according to this year revised syllabus, we do not have the preparation methods. So, we have from properties onwards. So, no need to read preparation of sulphuric acid by using contact process. So, you start directly with physical properties. So, generally sulphuric acid is colorless liquid, but because of impurities it may impart a color called yellow color, that is because of the impurities. Now, 98% of H2SO4 generally we get from the industrial strong concentrated sulphuric acid, and that has specific gravity 1.84, and because of hydrogen bonding it is soluble in the water. Let me see what is the hydrogen bonding we are going. I have taken two sulphuric acid, first sulphuric acid, second sulphuric acid. Now, oxygen S double bond O and SOH. Observe here what happened, we are getting a hydrogen bonding here, a hydrogen bonding, and this hydrogen bonding makes sulphuric acid is more viscous, high viscous, that is a why sulphuric acid is more viscous in nature. You can explain that by hydrogen bonding, and solubility also we can explain by what? Hydrogen bonding. Next, to make dilution, how to make dilute H2SO4, addition of water to acid or acid to the water. If you see here, when you add water to the acid, what happen? That leads to explosion. So, do not consider this, it is explosion, it leads to explosion because H2SO4 is strong dehydrating agent, you can't add water to the sulphuric acid. Now, how to make dilution? Take plenty of water, add drop 5 sulphuric acid. By using dropper, add drop 5 sulphuric acid, and then you get the dilute sulphuric acid. So, addition of acid to the water is for getting the dilute acids here. Next, chemical properties. How do you explain the acidic nature here? Now, acidic nature, how you explain? If it releases H plus ion, they are acids. See H2SO4 releasing H plus ions. HSO4 again is, that means how many H plus ions it can release? 2 H plus ions. But if you consider the first dissociation constant for releasing first proton, that is very high, isn't it? After that, what happens here? This hydrogen is strongly bonded, hydrogen bonded with O minus charge. That is the reason what happened. Second H plus is very difficult. So, dissociation constant is 10 to the power of -2, that is very low in this case. So, first dissociation constant of sulphuric acid is very high, second is what? Very low. Overall what happened? It can dissociate, it is a strong acid. Overall it can dissociate, it is a strong acid only. Now, second, if you observe the chemical property dehydrating agent, it removes the water anyway. Even from skin also it removes the water. That is the reason we get rashes. If you get some drop of sulphuric acid on the skin, what happen? It leads to burn because of what? Removing the water from that one. So, next, churning is nothing but removing the water molecules, isn't it? By producing the carbon mass. From where? Wood, sugar, paper. If you pour some sulphuric acid on the paper, paper will convert into black residue. Black mass of carbon we are going to get. This is nothing but called churning. Take sugar, add some sulphuric acid to the sugar, definitely we are going to get, this is the black mass we are going to get. This is the black mass you are going to get. This one is called nothing but churning here, isn't it? Next, we will see the oxidizing nature also. Oxidizing nature is nothing but sulphuric acid undergo reduction reaction. If sulfur of sulphuric acid undergo reduction, that is called oxidizing nature. Whenever sulphuric acid undergo oxidizing nature, what type of things we are going to get? Sulphuric acid will convert into sulfur dioxide, isn't it? H2SO4 will convert into SO2 plus water also, but not important, you see here. Plus 6 converting into plus 4, reduction reaction. So, if a substance undergo reduction, that is called what? Oxidizing agent. In any reaction you take, carbon, non-metal, carbon reacting with sulphuric acid, you are going to get carbon dioxide, SO2 plus, you see here, 0 oxidation state converting into your plus 4 oxidation state. Now, carbon is undergoing oxidation. So, it is called what? Oxidizing agent. Next, sulfur, 0 oxidation state converting into your what? Plus 4 oxidation, undergoing here oxidation. Therefore, it is called oxidizing agent. Why it is called oxidizing agent? This substance oxidizing the sulfur, therefore, it is called oxidizing agent. Similarly, what? Copper, 0 oxidation state will convert into, in this case, what? Plus 2 oxidation state here. So, this is the chemical properties which leads to oxidizing nature. Similarly, what happens, salts like MX2, so calcium chloride, X means I have taken chloride, reacting with H2SO4. What happens here? Calcium sulphate, and these two combine to give what here? 2 moles of HCl. So, these are the chemical properties. So, in the assignment point of view, you have to take the questions from the material I given. You write this one as assignment, because these reactions are very important, and even chairing also very important, and oxy acids, structure of oxy acids, isn't it? They are also very important. Take that as assignment. Finally, we will take the uses of sulphuric acid. Now, first thing, if you observe, sulphuric acid is called king of chemicals, because in anywhere if you observe, in the making of any type of compounds, laboratory reagents, we generally use H2SO4. So, that is the reason. Also, one more thing, any number of industries if you observe, many industries without sulphuric acid, industry never runs. So, and also one more thing, a country economy also depends upon sulphuric acid. Whether it is a developed country or not, we can determine by how much production of sulphuric acid is done in that country. That can be determined by what? Production of sulphuric acid. The growth of the countries depends upon what? Sulphuric acid. Next, if you observe here, what are the uses if you observe? Generally in the laboratory, we use as acid. Whenever if you want to add acid, we take what? H2SO4. By diluting the things, we take acid. Next, in the making of the batteries, you see most of the batteries like lead batteries, lead sulphuric acid batteries, they contain what? Sulphuric acid only. Without sulphuric acid, you cannot make batteries. Generally, car batteries, we use in the batteries in the car, isn't it? Inverters, what we use? Sulphuric acid only. And dehydrating agent, just now I told you what is dehydrating agent, removing the water, isn't it? Most of the case we remove, isn't it, whatever that water content, moisture, by using sulphuric acid only. And the making of ammonium phosphate, ammonium sulphate, they are actually used where? In the fertilizers. So, for fertilizers generally we need sulphuric acid. And metallurgy, in isolation of elements, what happens? Sulphuric acid is commonly used in the refining of metals here. Finally, we observe pickling agent. What is pickling agent? Means generally cleaning of metal surface, especially in electroplating. Means electroplating means what happen? You are plating, that means you are coating some type of materials on the surface here. In that case, before that metal surface is coated, we have to clean that one by using what? Sulphuric acid. So, these are the some major important uses of sulphuric acid. With this, what happened? We have completed group 16.